Alright, so picking up on step 3 in the tutorial 3 review assignment for Access, now we want to create a query, and so we'll do that, create. At this point in tutorial 3, you'll use query design for most everything that you do, so create and then choose query design. This little dialog comes up and it just basically is asking what table or tables do you want your query to be based on. In this case we know it's the supplier table, so I click that and add. Or I could double click it. If you accidentally add, let's say, the product table and you didn't mean to, or you add the supplier table twice or something like that, if something like that happens, it's very simple just to right click and remove the table, right click, remove table. Or let's say that you wanted the product table but you forgot to add it. You can always just click and drag it in after the fact. So adding and removing tables is very easy. Okay, so we have our table in there. Now the upper section is where the table or tables are shown. The lower section is the section where you want to indicate which fields from this table you actually want in your query. So in other words, these are all the fields that I can choose. I don't have to choose all of them. I only have to choose the ones that I want. And in this case, they're pretty specific, and they tell us that we want company, category, contact first, last phone, and initial contact in that order. So it's important to do the order. Now, to add a field, the easiest way, in my opinion, is just to simply double-click the field name. So company is first, category is second, contact first. Now, if contact last, let's say, okay, then phone and initial contact. So let's say that I accidentally do initial contact and then phone. I have them reversed. If I want to change the order of them, you can do that a couple of different ways. If I want to move one of these in front of the other, put your mouse right over top like that. You'll see a little black arrow. Click and release your mouse. Once you've done that, your mouse now turns into a white arrow. Now just click, drag, release, and then you can flip-flop them in that way. Pretty easy to do. Okay, so we've done that. We have our fields in there, and the next thing that we want to do is sort the query in ascending order based on the category field. So you'll see the sort row right here. Go to category, click right there in the sort row, choose the drop down and choose ascending, like that. Now save the query. So whenever you create a new object, it's going to be called query 1 or form 1 or table 1 or whatever the object type is that you're creating. If you just click the save button up here, it's going to come up and do a save as, or you can right click here and do a save. This is one of the reasons I like the right click method, is because everything that you pretty much want to do, whether it be close, save, or change views, is all right here. So I'm just going to choose save, and then we're going to call this contact list. Now once I've done that and I click OK, you're going to see that it pops up into the queries list over here along the left. Okay, now that we have it saved, then it says run the query. Run the query basically at this point just means go switch from design view, which is the view that we're in now, and run it so you can see what are the results of that query. So this is showing you here the 5-6 fields that we chose to display. Okay, then in the next step, this is step 4. This time it says use the contact list query datasheet to update the supplier table by changing phone field. So this is what this is saying. It's kind of confusing in my opinion the way they word it, but what they're getting at here is that if I make a change here, it will go back to the table. I'm in the query right now, the contact list query, but if I change this 203-774-335. So let's do this. If I open up the supplier table and I look for that record, you can see the phone number there as it is. I go back here to the contact list and I'll change it. And they want us to change it to 335. Try to get this in real quick. 335 and 0054. So I'll change that. 0054. Now again, if I click off of it, the pencil goes away. If I go back and look at the supplier record, you can see it changed it there. So the whole point that they're trying to make is that if you make a change to the data in a query, it actually goes back and saves it into the table that the query is based on.